All right, we have 2 more. 3.6.
The Evernight patch.
The Evernight and Dan Hong patch, and the bit of an Express Trio patch.
First thing we see, Anaxa showing up in Xandar's head.
As he should. The Evernight thing, talking to Evernight, and along with the flashback to like March and Evernight talking, and the like open reveal that which people have already like speculated and kind of figured out before, but that her first appearance, as we've seen, really was in fucking Argenti's quest. Because it's always Argenti! In a way, he was part of Amphoreus.
And then Evernight proceeds to Enigmata, telling us that March is no more and all that.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't consider that quite like full Enigmata, because that was the plan. The plan was like for March to sacrifice her memories. Evernight couldn't guarantee that March would be herself or even existed at all by the end of it. So I feel like it wasn't really
why
like
she did that.
I feel like it wasn't really.
I feel like that wasn't necessary.
I think it wasn't really lying. It was more so like she was exaggerating and like just, you know, being very cryptic about it, and like what she thought was gonna happen. I think she was just very convinced that like March, as we know her, was going to disappear.
Yeah, but she knew for a fact that March was in our camera, because she was with Onyx the entire time. She knew that March transferred into the camera. She just didn't know if it was going to work or not. The way that Evernight talks is that she basically finds a way to lie without lying.
Kind of like a half-truth of sort.
Yeah, it's like, it was untrue, but it was my opinion at the time, and from what I knew, that's my truth.
Exactly. Live your truth, queen. Yeah, we had Evernight like talking to us, Evernight, the flashback with March. We had Dan Hong returning to the Express and being kind of like non-existent for a hot second. Dan Hong comes back, goes right back in, because he's a good boy. He is.
Kafka shows up to do her thing.
Yeah,
she
we're
drops a ton of stuff.
Right. We're kind of like Evernight traps us, and we get out with the help of Mem and Sunday, and then we get the Kafka lore drop, or the finality lore drop.
I think it's really cool what Evernight does here, because it's like Cyrene is able to say, okay, we can get away by retreating into your memories. And then Evernight just completely flexes on everyone. Is like, no, I'm going to navigate your own memories better than you can and still trap you. I'm going to rip you out of your own memories and trap you in oblivion. Yeah. That is crazy. I feel like Evernight is really strong, but this environment makes her even stronger.
Oh, yeah. And hey, I gotta say, he didn't end up helping too much, but Sunday, A+ for effort. He tried his best.
He gave it his all.
There was only so much he could do. And then
also, I like that.
So he comes back out, and he's immediately like, Mr. Yang, I couldn't do it.
Also, it's like, two things about Evernight here. It's like, she says you should have gotten a memo keeper to do this, but she doesn't mean that. She just said she wanted to kill the memo keeper.
Yeah.
she probably just wanted to kill the memo keeper.
You should have gotten a memo keeper for my sake.
Yeah.
That would have made things easier for me.
Another thing is, the reason why she was so mean to Sunday is because March doesn't really like Sunday still. Like,
true.
So she has no allegiance to Sunday. It's like how Evernight reacts to people is entirely how March remembers them. I think that is so funny.
And I mean, it makes sense, but it is very fun.
Also, it's like how strong Evernight is, like ripping a memo keeper's soul out of their Dharmakaya is the most savage thing that I feel like no one talks about. If you can scare Black Swan, like
yeah,
memo keepers aren't supposed to die. They're not necessarily killable. Evernight found a way.
I do like how, despite that, Black Swan was still like, yeah, deserved. Like, that is horrifying, but also, you deserve that.
Also, in this moment, we got crumbs of another child of Anasrova being the one that sent the memo snatchers. Right. Because she's trying to, like, reunite with her sisters or something.
Totally forgot about that.
Cyrene finds the Stellaron within the Trailblazer. That was interesting.
Cyrene finds the Jelly March. Marchfish. Jellyfish March. And then it goes right to...
Dan Hong and Screwlum.
Dan Hong and Lygus.
Prisoner Lygus. I love this moment so much.
It's so funny.
I love that. Lygus being the serial glazer. That's another thing about Lygus. He always compliments people so lavishly, and he can't help it. Like, he can't help doing that.
It's like, even
Why
if he
is
means
like
it genuinely, it's like, I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. It's like, we don't like you. Shut up.
And then the moment they like encounter enemies, he's like, Darhang's like, you're not gonna help, right? Nope, that's all yours. And like
It's like, nope, because I don't want Skrullum and Herta to think that I'm acting like,
you know, that I am obstructing you or anything. And like the annoyance in Darhang's voice, like, fine.
It's like, you know what you're doing. It's like, he's so petty.
It's so funny.
Petty. It's so petty. I love Lygus, but I can't stand this guy. Like,
exactly. You really, it's really a hate-love situation.
and then after Donhung's finished fighting, he's like, it's a true honor to see a high elder combat style. I'm like,
Yeah,
get
like,
out of here.
You could tell that like Donhung was so close.
So done with it.
It was so fucking funny. God, and oh my god. Kazlana!
I love that. Okay. The way that I think is really interesting here, because the reason why he was able to hold out against Nanook for so long is because the dark side of him took over, and that's why it took longer for his good side to kind of reawaken.
Yeah, he was just
That
there
makes
out of spite
so much sense.
and sheer hatred. And the fucking when Lygus was like, Kazlan, in this cycle, Kazlana never answered my calls. People were like obviously very much, you know, joking about Lygus being left on red. I was thinking, as much as Lygus plays like this very like apathetic and, you know, non-caring guy, I think a part of it at some point did get attached in some like twisted way. Not like genuinely, you know, like the way you would expect, but there was something there. I like the idea of, oh, this person or factor, this signal that I've been seeing around millions of billions of times, they're not here. They're not here now. It's just me.
He's been torturing this creature in his torture chamber, and then the creature stops responding to him, and he's like, come on, struggle a little bit. Come on.
This is boring.
Come on, fight me again. Just defy me, insult me, do something.
It was funny, but also very interesting because I think it showed that there was still something, even if it was like a very weird, twisted form of affection. There was still something there.
I think that's the curiosity that he mentions in 3.7.
Yeah.
It's like he cares, but only out of like
he wouldn't ever acknowledge it as genuine.
Yeah.
And of course, if I have to play the theme again and during the Kazlana scene,
After her
obviously.
again.
Dude, the one fucking line of Kazlana just going, everyone I know and is dead. It's always single lines that manage to just be like so heavy. The way I felt there was similar to how I felt in 2.1 with the Aventurine sequence when they reported the deaths of the Avgens. And the
coldness of the way
exactly.
the announcer says that.
Exactly, and the way like the numbers are reported, like that line alone made me tear up back then because I was like, fuck, it was like this cold, distanced way of just straight up like it's just another news report. Tragic, but that really hit me. And like I felt a similar
still
thing.
Like that. The IPC still like that too.
Of course, yeah. And I was like I felt a similar way with that fight online.
What I hate about the IPC is that they always manage to be the most despicable, insidious faction. Because it's like in 3.7, I don't want to skip there, but I want to talk about this now. When Jade says that they're going to make a vaccine and sell it to people, when they could just be helping out with the Iron Tomb crisis, it is just the most despicable thing, and it just burns me up when I think about that. I'm like, you guys are just the worst. And not only that, they're also wrong because they're never gonna get a chance to sell that stupid freaking vaccine because everyone would just be dead.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm wondering. Like, okay, so you are aware that if people who need that vaccine don't get it, you will inevitably be fucked as well because it's going to spread over to your end at some point.
There is no universe where that vaccine is useful because either Iron Tomb destroys everything or Cyrene resets everything and no one actually gets hurt. So that vaccine's never useful.
They did say that it does work, but it's not gonna work long term because it's gonna spread way too fast to like be able to contain it.
That too, yeah. It's so stupid. Like I hate the IPC.
As you
I hate
should.
it. But back to Phynon.
Right.
He opens up the hole to the Demiurge Matrix that he somehow knew was there. Oh, right. He did know because that's where he would fight Iron Tomb.
Oh, right. Obviously.
Right at the Demiurge drop.
Exactly. Right as Dan Hong leaves, and Axe is like, "What is the Demiurge?" And we have Dan Hong going to the Grove.
This is where this patch drags a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
For me, at least, because the whole Terravox and the other Mountain Dweller dude, I forgot his name.
Geocles.
Geocles, right. I don't care about him. Why
That's
did he
fair.
exist?
That's fair, like a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
this whole thing where he wanted to use the permanence power, and he got fooled by Evernight giving him delusions of grandeur, and
Yeah, it dragged on a little bit, for sure.
Guy.
It was the Dan Han section, and we got Dan Hong and Dan Feng. They handled Dan Hong's character in 3.6 so much better than everything they did before.
Yes.
So much better. Like, I was worried before that patch if they were gonna pull another like Xianzhou Luofu where like they gloss over things and whatnot, but no, they did well. They did well.
Mm-hmm. It was a short section, but it was so impactful, and we understand Dan Feng so much more now because at first we was just this oh yeah, before Dan Hong was Dan Hong, he was a bad guy. He was just this terrible jerk dude that just his friend died and he was like no, and he tricked everyone and wrote Blade into it too, and
we kind of knew that
everything.
he wasn't evil, but we didn't really fully get a glimpse into like it was more so interpretation of, you know, like him being desperate and you know, grieving and stuff. But that was like the first time we got like an explicit direct glimpse or just full-on view of how he was feeling.
All the pictures that you see of Dan Feng, he's always like just scowling in the background. Like he never really looks like a nice person or really part of the team at all. But here is where we realize, oh no, he was part of the team. Like he was
just was their Dan Hong.
He was just resting jerk face. It's like that's just,
he was just
another Nuvulette.
Well, at least Nuvulette is a lot better at showing his emotions, whether he wants to or not.
I like the idea that it just rained on the Xianzhou for every day that Bai Hong was dead. It just rained on the Xianzhou Luofu and no one knew why.
Oh no! That scene, all in all, great. We have Terravox entrusting the Core Flame, all its creations to Dan Hong. Dan Hong just taking on like 2 million lives.
Before then, though, like we meet the 3 Treebees, and like they never actually met Dan Hong this cycle, so they didn't really know who he was. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, right. Then we have Demigod Dan Hong. We have the animated short, which was amazing.
Apparently, that takes place over the course of 1,000 years.
Yep.
Like he looked for the Trailblazer for 1,000 years.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yuren Hong. We have our little reunion, which if they gave us the hug later on, they could have given us a Trailblazer and Dan Hong hug. I don't care. They could have given us that.
What do you mean? There was hand-holding.
There was hand-holding. True. There was premarital hand-holding. Scandalous.
At least it was marital hand-holding with Cyrene, though.
In a way,
Because she had the ring on her finger.
In a way.
She's more married to the world, though, and that's the thing.
Yeah, that's another thing that we're gonna come back to later because I have some things about that.
Okay.
Yeah, then we enter the tomb, we get a swap to Black Swan Evernight. We learn about, you know, how March got here and what happened there.
Black Swan gets victimized again.
Dude, that poor woman. We go back to Trailblazer and Dan Hong, we learn about, you know, what Cyrene has been doing every cycle, which, I'm bringing it up again, Tomb of the Nameless Titan, the only place where memories from previous recurrences were stored. How does Mighty have memories from previous recurrences? If that is the only place where they are stored. And otherwise they would be reset. And also very well that, like, Mighty was the only one that like, we had to fight. Or, like, you know, his code.
That makes sense, though.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
It's strife.
Yeah. I think that portion dragged on just a little bit. Not much, just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit, yeah, I agree. Seeing all the dead Cyrene bodies was crazy.
Dude, yeah.
I was like, oh, that hurt.
We meet with Evernight, we've learned that she wants to...
Getting confirmation that not all the geniuses are emanators.
All right. That must have been
just
so...
casually dropping that. Oh my gosh. I got out of my chair. Like... Like, a lot of times throughout this story when my theories are proven right, because I all in so hard, it's like when they get proven right, I'm literally fist pumping in my room by myself.
Very valid.
Like, I'm just... And that was one of the moments where I was like, oh, I'm gonna be insufferable now.
Oh yeah. I mean, fair.
Getting a bigger peek at the Demiurge Matrix and knowing how the cycles worked, like how they fundamentally worked, is really cool. I love that they did this.
For sure. Let's see. Evernight confrontation. We learned she wants to wipe out Amphoreus, take over Black Swan because that woman cannot catch a break.
Body-snatching Black Swan is savage. That is crazy. It's she called her beautiful early on, but she didn't really know why. That's why.
Yeah, like, what a beautiful body. It's gonna be mine soon. We got the fucking Madarame Persona 5 knockoff fight. And like, I saw that thing and in my head I was like, you know, maybe I owe Lygus an apology. There's always uglier.
I remember there was a meme on Twitter where it was just everyone calling Lygus ugly.
Because he is. I saw his full form in 3.5 and I was like, oh, you are so ugly.
When I looked at him, I just thought, oh, he's a villain. Oh, he's a villain. I didn't think, oh, he's ugly. And then I realized that Lygus is an anagram for uglies. Have you ever thought about that?
No.
Like, you just rearrange the letters and you just spell uglies.
Oh my god, that's good.
Figuring out that Everknight's plan was never going to work is so cool to me.
True, right.
Also, that art of Everknight intimidating Black Swan is hard. That art is so hard. And she looks so much like Veliona. All of those enemies that Everknight spawns to fight us are memo snatchers that she killed.
I forgot about that.
That is insane. Everknight is a savage.
She is brutal.
This woman is not okay. She is not.
She does not care. So, the one thing, aside from just like how they handled Dan Heng and March's characters, I was worried about is, and it was more so pertaining to Dan Heng, because with March I wasn't as concerned, but with Dan Heng I really was worried that they weren't gonna delve into like his emotional state and everything as much as I feel like they could have. I fucking teared up when we got the trio hug, because I always hate, that's like a giant fucking pet peeve, is when we have these like calm and composed characters most of the time who we know actually, you know, care a lot and are actually, you know, sweet people, but they never show it on screen. You know, like maybe they have like an often like comment of how much they care for their friends or their family, but they never really show much. So I was hoping to get at least some open vulnerability from Dan Heng, and when Dan Heng went in and helped them both as well, I was so relieved. I was so happy, because that happens so rarely with these types of characters.
I mean, just that CG art of just
dude,
March just crying. Oh, my
heart. One of my top 3 scenes in the entire quest.
That gets you in your feels.
It do. Yeah, and then we have the final preparations. We have a little sneak peek of Smallrini, of Cyrene, well, not quite talking with, but talking at Philia. Like the original, or one of the original Philia. At the very end, like, which I only kind of like...
she wasn't gone?
Yeah, which I just remembered, yeah. Like, as I went back. And then we have the updated Miria Celestia, which I think is very cool that they did it like that. Just like,
yeah,
adding on and just changing some of the lines.
Also, we got Anaxa talking to Xandar at the end, where we figure out like how Iron Tomb works and how Iron Tomb's gonna actually seek out news. And like what it actually, or you know, what the Demiurge is as well. I would say very good, few minor complaints. I would say better than, at least as good as 3.5. Yes. Yeah,
at least. Also that, I feel like all of these, depending on the day, could go up or down. Also, in this little art where Everknight's talking to, is talking about how she erased March's memories, we actually see March and Cyrene inside of the 6 phase. Oh yeah, right. Along with a bunch of other people. But like we didn't get any defining features of them, if I recall. Okay, so I am gonna let you take the reins on this one first while I finish my food. For 3.7. So, start off in ID's a Lazy Eye. She tells us about where she is and what she is. The Shanzhou does their thing, where we figure out about Hunt followers and all that. We figure out how Cyrene being a Stellaron fused with the Demiurge Matrix worked out, which is big because
It was my theory that I was like, Cyreni's a Stellaron. I just can't prove it yet. I was like, the Demiurge is a Stellaron, and Cyrene is the Demiurge. She must be in the Stellaron.
I remember your reaction when I told you about the Stellaron being present in Amphoreus. You were like, oh god, not again.
I hated it, but then I was like, you know what? I like the way this is being done.
Yeah. Sorry, did you check the new Scepter notes?
Yes.
Did you see there's one that's just the nameless note and it's just an exclamation mark?
Yeah. It's like, thanks. Very cool.
Very informative.
Another thing I've been saying is that I wasn't sure if Aeons speak human languages, and everybody was like, oh, Aha speaks human languages, and I'm like, well, apparently Noose doesn't.
Yeah, maybe it just depends.
Okay, one thing I don't like about this patch is the fairy tale thing. They need to stop doing that. I hate it, and I hate it in Penacony. I hate it here.
It was a little much.
Stop doing that. It just makes everything so much more hard, so difficult to understand.
They love their flowery language,
like,
literally.
It's like they already speak in flowery language. Then they put a fairy tale on top of it, and I'm like, can we stop doing this? It's like, oh, the crystal flower shatters, but then it doesn't shatter, but then it does shatter, and it's like, shut up. Like, you're a freaking Stellaron that granted a wish and became the person out of granting the wish because Stellarons are extreme like that. That's what happened. Just tell me what happened.
Something's up here. Something's wrong here.
It's like the way I learned how to write as a kid was my mom would take me into museums, and we were in like a writing program, so I would have to pick a painting from an exhibit and write an essay on what that painting means.
Oh, interesting.
And I did that for like 2 or 3 years.
Interesting.
So I was like, I like, and like I would have to do that on like poems, like a lot of different stuff. So like this is the way that I think. Interpreting metaphors and like symbolism and stuff is something that I'm very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do it here, it's like they stack it on top of itself, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I do think that the entire... Here's the thing, right? Cyrene's character is a little conflicting to me. I like her. Number one, I think we should have gotten small Rini, because as gorgeous as big Rini is, the small one is who I got attached to, you know? The design, that I got attached to over time. Even though I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but over time it grew on me a lot. And I would have loved that to be playable in some way, shape, or form. Cyrene's character as a whole, and people have been talking about this the entire time, you know, Cyrene and Elysia, and too many similarities, or not really, or... I think that overall, they did well enough at establishing Cyrene as her own character and distinguishing her from Elysia, but only, or for the most part, just in terms of her personality and who she is. From what I know, by the way, I haven't played on Impact 3rd, I just know what people have been saying, what I've been getting. I think her aesthetic was kind of like, it didn't really fit. Like, the whole, like, wedding theme and the bow that don't really feel like they belong, if you know what I mean. Like, those kind of felt like, here, jingle jingle, Elysia coded. They gave one explanation for the bow thing, and it's that, oh, she learned how to do it by copying March. And it's like, okay. She had a whole ceremonial blade.
Yeah, she has a ceremonial blade in her hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think Ashika actually summed this up for me, at least, with the wedding aesthetic, because they're saying that Cyrene is marrying Amphoreus. She's just she's totally dedicated to preserving Amphoreus, and she's fused herself with it, so it's a marriage of sorts. I get that, and I do like that interpretation. I just feel like throughout the course of the story, it feels so like thrown in, if that makes sense. Like they didn't have to like openly go like, she is marrying Amphoreus. She is married to, like, she didn't, of course they didn't have to like openly say it, but like indicate or imply or like hint at it in some other way before like the very end, when we just see like a hand, an unknown hand, like putting the ring on her. That's kind of like all we got. And before that, it was all about love, sure, but that aspect never really came into play for me. That's true. And the love aspect never comes into play until the very end. Yeah. He says romantic, but I feel like it's not enough. I think all of 3.7 should have been 2 quests. It should have been 1 quest, learning more about Cyrene, and the whole, like, basically what we got in the shorts, the pre-war update shorts, put into 1 quest along with Cyrene's story, a bit of it. And then at the second part, or the second quest, would be like,
around the Kaslana area, and the Iron Tomb fight, and then the aftermath of everything, and maybe throw the epilogue quest in as well. I think that pacing-wise would have been better because we would have had more time for everything.
I don't know about that one. Just take out half the Kaslana section. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that part dragged for me so hard. I was like, okay, I get it. He's suffering still. I know. We know. We're saying goodbye to everyone for the 15th time. I get it.
Okay,
you know?
that's an interesting point. Next tangent incoming. I've heard people say or place that complaint a lot about like the whole like, oh, we're saying goodbye to the heirs again, and we've been saying goodbye to them all this time. To me, the entire Kaslana section was not really about that at all. At the time, because I was during that section a little exhausted every now and then, but that was not because of the quest, that was just because I was live. But the more I think about that whole section, the more I actually really love it. Because just like, or similar to 3.4, the entire journey through the Ruins of Time was not about like the Trailblazer or about us at all. And it was not even only about, it was about Kaslana, but it was about the Chrysos heirs showing their support and in their own ways, all in their own ways, kind of trying to put Kaslana at rest. You know, the one who they know or who they have known for the longest time as the Deliverer, as the one who takes everyone's wishes with them, as the one who bears everything. And at the very end, when he is still struggling and still can't seem to let go, they, in their own ways, are trying to just ease his burden one by one. Like we enter with Mighty, you know, the Guardian of Amphoreus, now guarding Kaslana's resting place, with Cypher, who I kind of went into before, like her slightly strained relationship with Finon, trying to reassure him with her trickery powers that everything was going to be fine. His heroes are going to be there any minute, or they're here. We have Casterus tending to the original Kaslana's grave. We have Hyacinth trying to soothe him with her melody. We have Trinan and Trian trying to hold back the destruction so we can press on. We have Anaxa helping us solve the trial. We have, at the end, Tribi and Iglaya, who have always been like teachers to him and like their caretakers, trying to reassure baby Finon, telling little Finon that he doesn't have to keep fighting. He can take a break. He can sit down. He can let go. He doesn't have to keep going. He doesn't have to listen to that voice in his head that keeps telling him, don't stop. Whatever you do, don't give up. So to me, that entire section was so meaningful because it reinforced how all of these characters appreciated Finon and how all of them tried to help in their own way, even when they knew they could only do so much. Like their reach was limited because, you know, they weren't the Trailblazer. They couldn't actually solve anything. They could only like lessen the damage wherever they could. To me, it was very good. And then we, of course, like on the way, we had the Lord Ravagenos and stuff. And I'm talking about all the Chrysos heirs. I do, unfortunately, again, have to exclude High Sealans and Saridra because Finon never knew them closely.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It just, I was kind of jaded at that point with saying goodbye and everyone.
I mean, there's also the thing, yeah. Like to me, it didn't feel like a goodbye. It's also like because in up until 3.3, we said goodbye to the Chrysos heirs in like we didn't really say goodbye, they just left for, you know, they died. They all died one by one. 3.5, we kind of said goodbye to them, but only that recurrence's version of them. To me, it was more isolated. It was like, okay, we're saying goodbye to the Chrysos heirs from that cycle, from that very era. 3.6 wasn't really a goodbye to me. It was more like a final preparation. And the tombs, or that whole scene, it wasn't really a goodbye to me. Like, I was more focused on how all of them were trying to soothe Finon's struggles.
Like, we're just gonna have to agree and disagree with that.
Yeah,
that's
like, fair. It's
again,
fair.
That's more character moments.
Exactly.
Driven, which is why I understand why you like that.
Exactly, and I get why it might drag on a bit if you like you're not.
Talk to me about how this world works more. Like,
that's my thing. I understand it if people don't always like look at it like that, or don't always like care as much about it, and are more, you know, like you like more lore focused or more just like plot focused. That makes total sense to me. I loved that scene, and I loved the notes. The fucking Lord Ravenous. I missed the first one.
Yeah, you
I
told
missed
me about that.
Zephyros
I
note.
missed that up until.
Yeah, Zephyros note I think was somehow easy to miss, because even though it was like it was right there. It was like the moment you stop that conversation, it's right there, and like I saw so many people miss it, and then you go to the harp, and that conversation ends, and like there's a collectible, and I look over and I'm like, Fantilia, and I read that and I'm like, oh, so they're just here now. And then I got Selenovas. I missed Asap Pramats for some reason, because it was, even though it was also right there, and I was like, oh, so like they were here, and then even in the Scepter it says that several Lord Ravagers were directly watching what happened, or what was going on.
Sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure all of them were watching in one way or another.
Probably, yeah. Only the ones capable of writing left their notes, probably.
Yeah.
Everyone say thank you, Zephyro, because that man gave me a whole lot of hope.
It's like he walks the path of elevation.
Yeah, it's like what else would that mean?
Maybe Lord Ravager Finon, maybe.
Exactly, and
hope.
it's clear that that he meant Finon. You know, the blazing sun that was never meant to rise. There's only one character that could be referring to, and it's not Iron Tomb.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So we got through that, dude. The Kaslana fight. Okay. First of all, depression aside, what a fucking banger OST that was. My goodness. One of my favorite boss OSTs by far, especially because these sons of bitches included fucking Coronal Radiance, like the motif in that theme. Dude, the fucking metal drop, I stopped everything that I was doing. The depression for a second went out the window and I was like, holy. I am a little mad at myself during that fight because I didn't realize. So I picked all the essentially wrong options, because I like every time Finon's like, do not hesitate, kill me, I was like, but I don't want to, I am hesitating, and I made it harder for myself, which I was fine, but I didn't realize that if I had picked like the more like confident options, that line we hear in the trailer, the with this fire I wish you eternal victory, would have been one of the like the confident options, and I so mad at myself for missing that, because that is exactly what Mighty says to him in 3.4, and he mirrors it. I could have gotten my crumb. I did not, because I was a coward.
I struggled with this boss fight for whatever reason. I kept picking the wrong team.
I just went in with Finon. Like, Finon just clears it all.
I kept trying to use Herta. And Herta just does not work with, she just doesn't work with a Cyrene.
That is, yeah.
It just,
to be fair,
doesn't work.
Finon
So
also
I eventually just started getting mad at this fight.
To be fair, Finon with Cyrene is also very rough. I had Finon, Cyrene, Danhong, and Sandai, I think, and her ult was so fucking slow. It was slow as hell. Like for like at some point I was like, fuck the ult. I'm just gonna like, Finon has like he could have had 35 core flames by now, and it worked.
Must have been like a C0 Cyrene that they gave us.
Oh,
for that
for
fight,
sure.
Man, was she not good. Like, she was a
was
liability.
slow.
I'm
like,
sorry.
if you weren't using the premium pink team, she was rough.
Yeah, if you weren't using like full Remembrance, Casterus, Evernight, Hyacinth, like,
yeah,
that's what I had. That's what I had to use to beat it.
I just said fuck it and brute forced it with Finon. Wait, in the Kasana fight, when Flame Reaver hits us, he healed us back too. Like, he doesn't even want to hurt us. Stop!
Wait, Flame Reaver? What fight is this?
When you fight Kaslana, if you choose like the more hesitant options, he summons the Flame Reaver clones and attacks you.
Does it?
Yeah, and apparently when that happens, you will still get healed again because he doesn't actually want to fight you. Because then he says, because those clones are then they're Iron Tomb's influence. Because then he says like, Iron Tomb is using your love to attack. Man, I fucking love Finon, man. Iron Tomb fight, also banger music as always. Shit gets fucked, and then it unfucks itself.
We just straight up lost.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Alright, you know,
Watching
that works.
John Hung and March die was sad. It happened so quick though. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I did see like someone like pointing out how like at the end they were like reaching for each other.
Yeah.
That was so sad. Then we have the news Herta conversation.
I like how Herta was the last one to disappear for some reason. Like, she took her like, I don't know how she managed to shield herself when everyone else straight up died. Like, there was no one left in the space station but her.
Yeah.
How did she do that? Like,
Queen shit. Did you know that that conversation or that little that scene of the depending on which trailblazer you picked, the other one was optional, essentially. Apparently, depending on which answers you picked during the Herda news section, there was a chance that you would not get the glimpses of the other Trailblazer vessel confronting you. Because some people didn't get that scene.
I guess if you click don't answer, maybe that happens.
Maybe if you don't answer, or if you click like the very non-Trailblazy answers, like I don't care as long as Iron Tomb gets defeated or something. Choices matter. Every now and then they do matter.
I like that we got gazed at by Noose and Cyrene got gazed at by Fuli at the exact same time, so we ended up in the path space together.
True. And Pom Pom.
That's how she got there. Yeah, Pom Pom is...
Pom Pom is Pom Pom.
Yeah, we don't know what Pom Pom is.
The fucking... Run.
Pom Pom's tone is so weird.
It was the very like, run. I had my finger on the W key, I was like, alright, I'm ready. And then they were like, no, like, keep moving forward, you know, like the hopeful kind of run, not the you are about to die run.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. It's so funny, also like terrifying. Because if Pom Pom ever did tell you to run, you would run. I don't care where I'm running, I run.
You have a different respect for Pom Pom than I do, I guess. Maybe I'm just underestimating him. I don't know what Pom Pom is, so it's like...
we don't know. It's just the fact that like even Veld is like, you don't want to make Pom Pom mad. Whatever you do, you don't want to do it. Like everyone who knows Pom Pom is like, they're special. You don't want to see them like go all out, whatever that means. Pom Pom is Akivili. That's my crack theory. I'm so curious to learn more about Pom Pom.
This is when I have trouble with what Hoyoverse does, because Hoyoverse, what they'll do is they'll make this random, silly, doofy-looking creature just incredibly important, and I was like, yeah, but I can't take this thing seriously.
That's what I love. That's what I love about it. It depends on how you do it. Whether it's a human or a small little creature, if something sad happens, I will still be sad. If anything, I might even be sadder because I see this cute little thing before me and I'm like, ah.
I'm like, oh no, creature fell over. That's me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For me it's, oh no, creature fell over. Speaking of which, that's also why the fucking the scene with the Seed of Memory and Cyrene in the cage was I love that scene because I'm always a sucker for like these, I guess, tropes, you know, the little innocent unassuming creature like being nurtured over time and like but still keeping that same innocence, and like the chopped up sentence is just a single word, so like Cyrene is peach, is love, and like it's so cute and it gets me every time.
That for me, the whole time I was just kind of celebrating that Cyrene was a Stellaron. That was just the whole time of me just being like, yeah.
I will say,
grant the wish, become the Stellaron awakened. Seed of Memory is not a seed of destruction. Yes, Stellarons are not from the destruction. Stellanova didn't create the Stellarons. I told you all, I knew it. That was all I was thinking about the entire time.
That's also fair. I do think that whole section, the two like CGs we got, or two scenes with the glass panel thing, whatever you want to call it, with Cyrene like walking along. I think they could have shortened that to one. The cage CG, I loved. No complaints. The stuff before and after, they could have shortened and combined better somehow. I just think that it would have been better to have these things in a separate quest, especially because, like, all that aside, and the fact that we didn't really get much of, like, the different POVs of, like, what was happening on the outside. We didn't get much of that at all. Like, a preparation as well. And then the Iron Tomb fight ending, and then we're just back in the Express. Like, that transition was so sudden that I kid you not, the entire time I was so paranoid. I was like, something is going to happen.
Are we all dead?
I was like, something is wrong. We're in another dream. Something is not going right. Especially because like then we hear in the background the entire time you hear like someone writing.
Oh yeah. That noise drove me up the wall.
I didn't even like
I cannot tell you how badly that noise got on my nerves. I almost had to skip that entire section.
Oh no.
Because like it drove me nuts.
Oh
like,
no.
I don't even remember. It probably wasn't even all that long, but it felt like 3 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Noise of this writing in the back. I don't know what it was, but that noise, it killed me. I made the mistake of like at the very end when like the Galaxy Rangers and like some other people show up, I accidentally skipped that. What happened there?
So what happened is Bootle and Rappa were talking. Rappa, who was actually Sparkle, pretending to be Rappa, and the way that
Really?
Yeah, and the way that Bootle found that out was because she didn't call him Silvergun Shura, she called him like something cowboy ninja or something, and he was like, that's not my name. And they talked about, I forget what their name has been mentioned before. They talked about the three-legged wolf, the boss of the Galaxy Rangers. You're hoping this war involving the gods might be the key to freeing that broken, why did I say three-legged? That broken-legged wolf.
Everything that happens in like that section after like just after the story ends, I think I just straight up blanked all of it. Like
that's fair. That was about like the Xianzhou asking for the golden blood, the world cleansing blood. Yeah, and Himiko was like we can get the Trailblazer to ask Finon, and fucking now they have it. Then we have a conversation between Jade and Himiko. We also learned that conversation with Jingyuan, Fuxuan, and Himiko that Fuxuan almost died, if not for her like receiving a vision that if she was going to join a certain fleet or a certain like troop or whatever, like she was probably going to die or she might die. So she just didn't go. She just stayed put, and that's what saved her life. And yeah, corpo talk, essentially, polite talk between the two of them.
I really regret skipping over that because I was so tired.
Oh, actually, speaking of depression, I fucking teared up at that animation. I was so close. Especially when we saw the Chrysos airs like on the Express and like what they could have had, and then them all like fading away like into like their constellations. I've never cried on stream. The closest I've gotten ever to crying on stream was like this, the 3.6 trio scene, the hug, and last year's Hoyo Fair, the fucking Jingyuan video with his lion. I was so close.
Oh no! Don't remind me of the lion. No!
That video, in my case, I count just like getting very teary-eyed and sniffling as crying, even if like I'm not fucking full-on sobbing. That was the closest I've ever gotten to like just full-on breaking on stream.
You know we skipped over? Herta being the goat again and calling the Genius Society up.
Oh my god, yeah, we did. I cannot believe we skipped over that.
How did we skip over
I don't know.
Because, like, I know a lot of people say, oh, this was the Cyrene patch. No, this was the Herta patch.
To be fair, you are also biased, but she did have a lot of great moments.
100% biased. But this was the Herta patch.
That was power move.
Calling up the Genius Society was so funny, and all the geniuses are so good. All the characters are so funny.
Hey, listen.
Even Polka's good.
Listen, that was the I will say it. That was the first time I was actually glad to see Ron May. I don't like that woman, but like when she answered, I was like, you know what? For once, thank you.
I expected her of all people to answer.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that she got as many people to answer as she did, though.
Honestly, yeah. Polka was interesting. Acha we hadn't like met or heard anything of before. I thought I remembered the name, but maybe not. What did they call themselves? I don't even know if it's a man or a woman because I feel like their voice sounds a little androgynous.
Quantum something.
The ghost of the quantum domain.
Of the quantum domain, yeah. And calls her the little witch. Yeah.
And
which she is.
She's our little witch. Acha and Dr. Primitive were kind of like in a similar vein of like, they seem a little silly. They seem a little silly. Like Acha more so than me like
not serious at all.
Yeah, like more composed, but Dr. fucking Primitive.
He's just here for the lulz.
I gotta give it to him. The moment he just came out the gate and went, look who's here! Fucking loser! I was like, okay. If we can bond with him and hating Lygus, maybe he's got a shot.
It's like he's all over the place, and then when the meeting ends, he's like, wait, I was a side character. And then he's like, whatever, I was just here for the lulz anyway.
Peak elation guy. Fuyat, I agree. I get why Steven didn't show up, but I want to finally meet Steven. He seems like such a sweet guy.
Does he have a voice?
No, we have never heard his voice. The only time we've met him was in the simulated universe, where like he was like all shy and like all refrain. Like we've never actually met or heard him. He's just a little guy minding his business or wanting to mind his business.
I think that's the thing, though. Like he wants to just be left alone.
Yeah, I would love for us to encounter him just like randomly at some point, like not like in a big context. We just like encounter him like stopping by a store and we just meet him.
Steven's really smart though, because like he somehow like he just saw Polka's like mesh thing that she covers her face with to like obscure her appearance, and he just copied it. Like,
I feel like
forgot you were a genius.
I feel like the day we meet Steven, it's really just gonna be like we point out like, oh, like his achievements and what he's done. He's like, please don't leave me alone. I don't want this. I don't care about this.
Don't draw too much attention to me, please.
Yeah. Also, Lenny, listen. Just because I think Dr. Primitive is funny as hell does not mean I forgive him for what he's done to my boy and my daughter trying to fucking convert Bootil into monkey.
Wouldn't be too much of a change from what he already is, but.
Excuse you. All right, that was it for this collab. The final collab that we will ever have. Everyone say bye to Nova. It's the last time you'll be hearing of him. But yeah, no, still fuck Dr. Primitive, but also he is funny. Listen, just as I love the Galaxy Rangers, you know I am just as weak for the Elation.
He has to be somewhat Elation coded, which is weird because he seems to be studying evolution. An Elation genius studying evolution has to be the most weird thing that I would have never predicted.
That's why I initially was like surprised by his character, because I thought he was gonna be the type of like, you know, his idea of like regressing and devolving species, like rooted in some kind of like twisted evolutionary belief or something. But now I'm like, what if he just thinks it's funny? What if he just like, haha, monkey go brr.
Yeah, that's probably what he's doing.
I am kind of excited to meet him at some point, you know, or hear more of him.
I'm glad that he's still alive. Because some people were speculating that he was dead. I'm so glad he's alive. Okay. Being surprisingly civil.
Yeah, but on the other, I expected her to be more like deadpan, I guess, or more cold, not like so kind of haughty a little bit. Okay, last thing. The ending. I know you didn't like it at first. Because like, the quote ending, ending in quotation marks. First of all, I'm glad I played the epilogue quest, because the epilogue quest really like confirmed that, you know, they're still here. Amphoreus is gonna be real at some point, it's just a matter of time. I do like the ending. I think just like the pacing was a little off, which is why at first it felt kind of like, it felt just a little weird. But all in all, I do like what we settled on for now, is that they're all kind of just like living out their epilogue for the time being until we can transfer them over. All in all, I like the temporary ending.
My major problem with one of my major problems is Lygus went out in such a boring way.
I feel like it kind of fits. Like,
oh, I lost again. Another failure.
But I feel like that kind of fits his character.
Time to die. It's like,
like he was like he kind of like resigned himself to his fate, and he was like, all right, I failed. That's that. And like for me, it fits his character, so I don't mind it.
I feel like it doesn't.
Oh, interesting.
Because, like, the whole thing about Xandar is Xandar never stopped trying to kill Noose. He tried to kill Noose from the moment Noose ascended.
But he also never had so many wrenches thrown in his plans before. Like, his biggest was Kazlana, and with Kazlana as well, he was convinced that it was only a matter of time. And then it was like, the entire universe, essentially, or like several factions of the universe, just relaying the message that, like, it's not gonna, whatever you're doing, it's not gonna work. So at the end of the day, he just like he resigned himself to his loss. I think it made sense. I think it fit overall.
Lygus giving up is I hate it. I hate
that is fair.
Concept.
I think he is very stubborn, but he knows when to stop. He knows when to step down. I think.
This guy was trying to destroy the universe. What part of he knows when he's lost? What do you mean? Like, I don't like it doesn't process for me. Again, that this guy knows when to stop.
It's because this was the first time he's actually had so much resistance and like actual plans against him. Like Kazlana and Sarini were desperate. They had no other choice. They were like, it's this or nothing. Meanwhile,
even in his real life, he knew though. Even in his real life, like Xandar knew that the world wanted Noose to exist, and he was against it anyway. Because his plan was for Polka to kill him. That was well within his calculations. He knew for a fact that Polka was going to show up to kill him. In his physical life, yeah, this is in the Recluse relic set story.
Oh.
It's when it's revealed that it's like Xandar is just an elitist. Like he's an elitist with control freak issues. That's his character. And
I think it makes sense. Okay, so there we're like, I'm separating Xandar and Lygus here because like Xandar, yes, Xandar is not done. Whatever he's doing, he's not done, obviously. Lygus specifically, the as he called himself then, the character, as the Theoros, actually for real this time, it made sense for Lygus the character to step down. Xandar or any of his other fragments, not necessarily. They're still going. They're still doing whatever they're up to. But Lygus as a character, I think it makes sense. And to be fair, he did also, like, it's not like he, like, fully gave up. He did nudge, well, directly tell Scrotum that, by the way, there's a whole nother equation waiting for you in Adlavun. So if you're curious about that, go check that out.
Another thing is, I don't like the idea that Lygus and Xandar are split. I like them being the same person, and Lygus is just a stage name for Xandar.
I mean, that's kind of like it's kind of been established that these 9 fragments are all part of Xandar in a way, but that doesn't mean they represent the exact same views and goals as he does. Lygus was his paranoia, specifically.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be like Xandar, when he made the thought fragments, was well aware that a lot of them would stray, but he knew that one would stay on the path regardless of anything that happens.
But then again, Lygus himself
is supposed to be Lygus.
But Lygus himself then says in the quest that, like, he cut his consciousness off from Xandar. Like,
why? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me either.
I mean, even fragments, you know, like, even fragments of someone, like, they still, even they can, I mean, I don't want to call it growth, because I don't think it's really growth. It's more so, like, even they can change in a way and reflect. And I think that's what happened with Lygus. Not really out of, like, a sense of, like conscience and, like, a conscience or morals or whatever, but just, like, recognizing that it's the end of the road for him, for specifically him. By the way, him telling us before the meeting that, like, he cut himself off from Xandar and is now just Lygus the character, essentially, in this simulation. And then later on, during the society meeting, he just, like, goes like, oh yeah, by the way, I just contacted all the other fragments to protect Madame Herda.
Yeah,
like
he
you
just
fucking
goes
liar.
Back. I don't like that. I don't like that he does that. That doesn't.
I think he was just bluffing straight
up.
up. If he separated himself from Xandar, I don't think he would have the capability to contact anyone. I think he was just straight up fucking bluffing.
The relic set says they are all just different facets of Xandar. Some will give up, some will accept the cage. Yes, this one calls it the cage instead of the cave.
Oh goddamn.
Some will try everything to stop the Thought Fragment project, just as he once had a moment of hesitation. But there will definitely be someone who will carry out the original plan. And I'm pretty sure that someone is Lygus. So Lygus giving up bothers me. Like
Maybe it's another agree to disagree. I think the idea of a genius that has been, like, so desperately, like, trying to carry out their plan only to, like, one, be stalled for who knows how many years, and then at the end of the day just got fucking pummeled, to be like, okay, this is the end for me. I think it makes sense. And, like, there's no guarantee, like, that fragment is Lygus, you know? It could be anyone else. It could be someone we haven't met yet.
Maybe it's because I'm just too obsessed with Herda, because Herda likes failure. When she celebrates failure.
True.
She'll throw a party every time she fails, she throws a party. Like,
True.
It's like, but Lygus took it so incredibly hard that he was like, well, my existence has no meaning now because I failed. And it's like, just try again, dude, you're not dead.
And I mean, to be fair, we've seen that in 3.4 as well, because even in 3.4, when Kazlana confronted him, he was kind of in denial because he was like, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. The moment that 0 turns to a 1, you're done. I am patient. But you could tell that it was tugging at him.
I didn't get that from him at all.
Maybe that was also the voice direction. Could also always have been it. That the entire time he was like, you know, like, I have time. I can wait however long I need to. However long I need to. I did sense some sort of, like, not quite impatience, but I don't know, something tells me he's just a sore loser. He's a sore loser, and at some point, he just reached the breaking point of, like, okay, there's nothing else I can do here.
I hate that. If that is his character, I hate that. I hate it.
Interesting. I can sort of respect that.
Makes me not like him as a villain anymore either. Because the whole point of why I liked him is because he's relentless and he's unapologetic about how patient he is and how relentless he will be until the end of time.
Mora says that in JP he was very like I did hear like the fragments that I heard in JP. He was more like calm and collected, and I assume he might be that in Japanese and Chinese as well. And to be fair, especially if that is the case, if he's more like if he also sounds more composed and stuff, I don't know. To me, it would make sense for someone who's been going for so long to like for the first time be faced with like just complete, undeniable loss. Like there's no way out of this for him as of now, and he's like, okay, you know what? At least Lygus as the character accepts his loss. Personally, I like that because it's not like acceptance. It's not a change of heart. It's just like resignment.
I like it. Bothers me.
That's fair.
It just bothers me. It just does.
That is fair. That is fair. That is fair. Agree to disagree. I think that's also what just makes him a great character. The fact that like you can definitely see, depending on how you look at it, you can see both options for his character. The way like some of his character is very much open to interpretation.
I mean, I can see it from your perspective. I can see
it from yours for sure. For sure.
It's conclusive for sure.
Okay, do we have anything else?
Herta explaining how Noose and Fuli work.
Okay, that took me a minute to fully grasp.
Very complicated.
To fully grasp.
I still don't know how, because Herta decided to use the fairy tale manner of speaking to explain how memories work in regards to the imaginary tree, and I will never forgive her for that. Because I still don't understand how that works now.
The way I got, like, just that she described it, basically, you have a tree with a lot of branches. The branches are all the possible ways that history can unfold. The erudition basically zones in on one of those branches, or maybe like a select few of those branches, and cuts away everything else. And those branches keep growing until eventually it'll grow too heavy on one side, like the weight imbalance. That's how far I got. And then there was something about, what's it called? Lignification?
Something like that.
Lignification, where basically like the branches, or like some of the branches, like fuse with the trunk to stabilize it. And that's what you kind of linked to the causality. And like, from what I understand of the causality, it's basically just like, in Amphoreus' case, Cyrene essentially became the causality to stabilize everything else. And her role, right, is to be the step in for Fuli and make sure that everything unfolds as it's supposed to. Basically, like, close any gaps that could lead to things playing out differently.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically...
But where does memory come in?
So this is so
Fuli's
cool.
record keeping, the past becomes memory. In the corners, they forget. Even the events of the present become fruits without roots. Like, what?
In the corners, they forget. I mean, to be fair, that does make it for an interesting point, because I've heard, like, Ashika mentioned this before, and it never really like clicked with me until I heard her explain it. Memory is extremely unreliable. Like, things contradict each other. There's memory gaps. You forget things, and there I wonder, would that or could that happen to Fuli as well? Like, if they recreate the universe, would there be gaps? Would there be things that even they either don't perceive or, quote, forget?
Introducing the concept of Fuli forgetting things is weird to me.
For some reason, I'm reminded of Irminsul here. Irminsul itself can, quote, be wrong, and it can be messed with. So I wonder if something like that could work with Fuli as well, just by the very premise of memory being so finicky and so unreliable in essence, like by nature.
I was thinking that the type of way Fuli deals with memories makes them reliable, because they're able to take what actually happened in the past and recreate it. So in that way, it is reliable because only things that actually happened are actually kept.
Well, what has happened, or rather, because they talk about Fuli's record keeping. To me, that indicates that Fuli might not always have exact 100% certainty of everything that has happened, but the records they keep is what they recreate the universe based on. And those records could be not quite faulty, but they could leave out things in the process. This could introduce the idea of either their memory itself can be faulty, they might not remember everything, or what they do remember might be different from what's actually transpired. And in a way, these possible inaccuracies or these possible gaps could therein create these uncertainties and be where the causality comes in that is supposed to tie everything up, that is supposed to fill these gaps. Kind of like how the recurrences, you know, are at their core always the same, but things play out differently each time. It could be that, like, when Fully recreates the universe, the core essence of the universe stays the same, but minor details could be changed. Minor details could happen differently.
Today, actually.
Oh! We have not even ranked the quest yet, by the way.
We need to rank this, now.
Top of very good, few minor complaints, maybe?
Definitely not.
Do you think it's worse than 3.3?
It's not as good as the Mighty Patch for me.
Ooh! I mean, to be fair, we do have all of them, like, around the same realm, so...
Honestly, I'd put it in overall good, but had some rough patches.
Wow.
I'd put it at the top of that. Because the ending needs to be perfect, in my opinion. And Hoyo normally nails their endings. Normally, everything else is crap until the very end, and then it gets good.
That's definitely a personal preference, because, like, number one, it's not fully the end yet. And I don't think an ending has to be perfect. I think, okay, either top of overall good had some rough patches above 3.2 and 3.0, or right below 3.1.
100%. That's how I feel that it should be.
Okay, that works. And with that, yeah, as expected, we didn't use the bottom two tiers at all because Amphoreus in itself is so good. And listen,
yeah,
if they can just shorten the story a tiny bit, like 80% to like 80% of what we got, give me the same thing in the next planet. I don't care. Give me 8 patches of story. Just give it to me. Going back to like a Penacony thing would be so underwhelming for me.
I didn't like Penacony at all.
I liked it, but in comparison, it does not compare.
It's like I almost quit the game in Penacony, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like Penacony. I have strong feelings. Like,
wow.
I have very strong
That might be a topic
feelings.
for another day then.
It's like, oh, man, the Shanjo was great. I love Bellabog. I love the Shanjo.
Wow.
Penacony hit, and I was like,
that's a take.
Until the end. The end of Penacony was good.
That's a take. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it. It was really, really fun. Really fun. And, yeah. Whenever I think of other stuff to drag you into, I shall. Bye-bye! Oh my goodness.